Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights. I have another Aftermath episode, this one about the Dallas Card Show that was last weekend. Kyle Robertson does an excellent job. His next show will be May 20th through the 23rd. 20th is the Thursday preview, then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I toyed with the idea of getting a VIP pass. They were teasing that idea that I suggested a while back of if there are COVID restrictions, if you're a VIP, you'll still go to the front of whatever line. If there's any time limits, you will jump the queue. So I didn't do that because I had something else Thursday night, but I went on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The show seemed to me to be consistently strong, 608 tables. There were tables all over the place. There were 4 rooms, actually 5 rooms, if I want to call the foyer. There was a foyer, there was a comic non-sport room, there was the Rich Klein room, which was a smaller room, there was the main room, and there was the overflow room, which had a bunch of dealers, as well as some of the corporate vendors and autograph guests. It was loosely organized. You could figure it out after you'd been through it. I enjoyed being there. I got my old standbys that I'll go to that I know what they have, but it's always fun to browse around as well. On Friday, I saw a few empty tables as people maybe were only going to be there for Saturday or Sunday. On Sunday, I saw a few empty tables, but Saturday and throughout, it seemed pretty busy. The mask protocols have been lifted at the venue option. Actually, the hotel had a mask protocol that you had to have a mask on, whereas the card show, I think, was mask recommended, which means in many cases, people had masks on, but not covering their nose or not covering their mouth or below their chin. That was Kyle's prerogative. I don't have a huge problem with it because I'm not sensitive like that, but people that are have a choice to either not come, or I guess you could politely ask somebody to put your mask on. It was just when I sat down facing the wall, I was going to take off my mask. I'm not breathing on anybody. I'm not coughing on anybody. I'm not spitting on anybody. I had my mask on in the halls when I walk in the rows, and it was very crowded. I noticed that the configuration that Kyle had of dealers, but again, it keeps getting better and better. I've heard comments that, yes, this is the closest thing that we're going to have to a national until the real national, because there were not quite as many corporates as a national, but certainly an awful lot of dealers, a lot of tables, tough to get around. But not just the number of tables, the table real estate, not where they are, but what's on the tables evolves as table prices can go up, as table competition goes up, then people are going to bring their better stuff, continue to upgrade that, which meant there were less of the dollar boxes I like to go through. Again, not a huge problem. It's the prerogative of the dealer to bring, but a few of them didn't bring stuff that they usually would bring. And they just said, I've got to take advantage of this wonderful selling opportunity to bring my best stuff. So I actually did an experiment. I told Rich about this, and we'll talk about this in a future episode, but I made a second pass through a dollar box, one that I'd been through at the previous show. And I didn't know that at first necessarily, but I started seeing some of the same cards. And of course you could say, of course you're going to see some of the same cards because there's a lot of similar cards in similar boxes like that. But no, like Rich, I have a memory that's unusual, and I remembered the sequence of cards. I said, I've seen this sequence of cards before. And so it turns out, yes, it was a box that I had been through, and I had not gently, secretly pencil marked it for having been through it. Yet, I still found a few things, even though it was a second pass through, I found a few things because I was going really pretty fast the first time I went through it. So that's a lesson to me that I can actually maybe find some different stuff. What's Kyle going to do in the future? I think next show, there'll be more of a consolidation of the second room to be the autograph guests and more of the corporate, the grading. JSA was there. I think most of the dealers probably will be in the dealer rooms, and the corporates will be there and with the autograph guests. There was amazing tables out in the foyer. Heritage was out there. Anybody coming into the show would walk right by Heritage. They had a great display. There was InvestiCard, I think Beckett Authentication, Mike Baker from back in the Steve Rocky PSA days. Mike Baker's on his own. He's got his own grading gig. There was a Show Your Slabs guy that had an interesting approach for how you could mount any kind of slabs on an acrylic, nicely presented, frameable, or hanging on the wall type item. That was cool. I had my own concept, but that was a reasonable thing. There was a couple of Pokemon tables out there, collectible. The fractional group had a representation out there. Of course, in the room, you had Roger Neufeld and Mile High. Brian Gray was there. Hank Rezis, who brought an amazing group of basketball items, a really advanced collector that's also a dealer that makes his stuff available. I'm sold on these shows. I don't know if they're going to be this great when everybody else gets back to normal, but I think Kyle's really got a winner. I don't know if he's getting too big to handle what he has in the Waters Creek Convention Center at that Delta Hotel there. It's a reasonable location, but he's pretty full there. It's super convenient for Rich because the office is literally a few blocks away across the street. For me, it's not a bad drive. What else? Let's see. Aftermath, that has nothing to do with math. Postmortems, which actually has nothing to do with mortem or death. But looking back, well done, Kyle. Look forward to your show in May. I don't know that I will prepare any differently. I brought cash, which is nice to go into a card show and know that they will accept cash. I've actually been in stores in other establishments where they don't want your cash because it's dirty. They want credit card only. Anyway, I'll be ready. I don't bring so much cash that I'm worried. There was supposedly a person that brought $100,000 worth of cash to spend, and that would make me a little nervous. My wallet is not that big. It seems almost like it has visions of other kinds of deals that I've never participated in. Again, thanks Kyle Robertson. Thanks Rich Klein for originally encouraging me to hit his show as well as Kyle's. I've been having a great time. It looks like much of the hobby has caught on to Dallas being, if not the place, certainly a place where the hobby is really hitting it out of the park. Thanks other dealers that I acquired cards from, a few. And thanks for those of you who had a good time. And for all you listeners, I'm just looking forward to another episode each day. So thanks for your comments and questions. Keep sending them to Dr. James Beckett at gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer them as best I can. So thanks again.